We are now joined from London by U.S. men's national team defender Jonathan Spector. John, thanks for joining us on Studio 90 and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too, and thank you for having me.
Jonathan, you started as a young player as a forward. You got moved to defender as a U17 player, and then when you moved overseas, now you find yourself starting in central midfield. How did that change come about?
Well, basically, the manager here, Avram Grant, just started having me train in midfield, in the center of midfield, for the past, I don't know, month and a half or so. No particular reason, I don't think. I just think he thought it might be a good position for me. And then we had a couple of injuries, and I got an opportunity in that first game against Man United. It was a Carling Cup game. And yeah, since then I played the last 3 games in that position.
No particular reason. Seems like a good reason then, Jonathan. You scored 2 goals against Manchester United. What was that like, not only scoring the goals, but doing it against your old team?
I mean, it was a great feeling to win the game. Obviously, we'd been struggling leading up to that game in the league, so it was a nice feeling to knock out the holders of the competition and get a good win at home. So yeah, I mean, it was a great feeling to score the 2 goals as well, but better to be part of the winning effort, especially because we've had our problems this season.
The first goals that you've scored in your professional career, Jonathan, you look like you weren't exactly sure how to celebrate.
Yeah, no, it's not something I had planned for, to be honest. So I'm not sure. I guess it was just the joy, the excitement, just exuberance just kind of came out. Not really sure what I did. But yeah, no, I hadn't planned for the celebration for 1 goal, let alone 2 goals.
So, Jonathan, as you head into the busy winter schedule in this English Premier League, it's kind of a tradition in England as opposed to other places where there's so many games around the holidays. And it's really an important time of the season, isn't it, and the opportunity to pick up points?
Yeah, it's a really busy schedule for us, and I think having a big squad, which we do have, is going to be extremely beneficial going into the period. Like you said, the games are in quick succession, so if you start off well, you can put a string of wins together, and we could find ourselves climbing the table in a very short period of time, because we do have some games that are winnable games. We're not playing any of the big teams. Most people would consider the big teams like Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. We're not playing anyone like that, I don't believe, during that time. So it's a good opportunity for us to pick up some points.
2 of those games that you'll play, December 26th against Fulham, 2 days later against Everton, your fellow internationals, Clint Dempsey, Eddie Johnson, and Tim Howard. What's it like when you go up against your fellow players in the domestic league?
I mean, it's obviously very different. It's a unique opportunity for that particular those particular games. They're not my teammates per se. Obviously, we're both going to be fighting to win the game. And yeah, so for those matches, we won't be teammates, but certainly once we get back together with the U.S. national team, it'll be good to be back together, and it'll be nice to have those players, because they're very talented players, back on my team.
At this time of year, most people are getting ready for Christmas and New Year's, and to celebrate that time with friends and family. You're busy with playing soccer, but you also have the opportunity to have your family and friends come over to watch. Does it make for a more special atmosphere at this time of year?
I mean, it's certainly great having my family out over the holidays. Fortunately, it's only my immediate family, as my extended family will be still in Chicago, celebrating with each other because they're not able to make it out. But it's great having my parents and my brother over here. Just to celebrate, the holiday season, as well as to have their support during a really busy time in the season for us.
Johnny, as we head into 2011, it's another big year for the national team. It seems like it never ends. We've got the Gold Cup coming up this summer, and also the potential for the start of World Cup qualifying. What's your mission in 2011 as it relates to the national team?
Yeah, I mean, related to the national team, as you said, we've got the Gold Cup, which is a very important competition for us. I think this is the year we'll be competing for the opportunity to play in the Confederations Cup once again, which is always a fantastic opportunity for us, particularly the success we had in the last one. And, you know, the Gold Cup is special to me, too, because the last Gold Cup I personally played in, you know, we beat Mexico in the final at Soldier Field in Chicago, and that was the first major competition, you know, I won as a professional, not just with club, but country, obviously, as well. So that was pretty special to me. But, I mean, leading into this one, I think, obviously, the goal is always to win the Gold Cup. And then, you know, if with that qualifying coming up as well, it's obviously important to get off to a good start.
The next time we see you and many of the European-based players will be on February 9th when the U.S. plays against defending Africa Cup of Nations champions Egypt. When you play against teams like that in an environment like you can expect in Cairo, how does that help the team's development as you move forward in this next cycle?
Well, I've never personally played at the stadium in Cairo, but we've certainly been in similar atmospheres, whether it's the Azteca Stadium or, you know, some of the stadiums in South Africa. And, you know, with how loud they are and how difficult it is to communicate, you know, your communication skills and sticking together are extremely important for those type of games and those type of atmospheres. You know, and I think, you know, we have a strength of playing away from home, and, you know, games like this only strengthen that, and it strengthens the bond we have as teammates as well.
Jonathan, thanks for taking the time to join us. Good luck over the holiday period with all those busy games, and we look forward to seeing you again next year.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure.
Well, that wraps up our final new Studio 90 of 2010. Of course, we'll be back next year with all new exclusive behind-the-scenes content, highlights, and features of all of your U.S. national teams. Check out ussoccer.com next week when we bring you Studio 90's Top 10 of 2010. Thanks to everybody for watching this year. We'll see you in 2011.